Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina, Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Wednesday night. Welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. This evening, Ted and I are joined by COLIN KUBIK, who is a student at Northwood University and has huge roles within the auto show, like Vanessa and I do. So welcome, COLIN. We're happy that one of our peers is here.
Hey, thank you for having me. So happy to be here.
Yes, of course.
COLIN, we saw you at work when we were at Northwood a couple weeks ago, and you were on one of the panels. Katrina and Vanessa recommended you on those student panels, which is where it all begins, I guess. And wow, you took a lot of people by surprise, and they were very impressed with you, COLIN. So it was a no-brainer to welcome you on the show, and you're gonna have a lot of new friends here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hey, I appreciate that feedback. Thank you very much.
So, COLIN, I know we got a lot to get to tonight, and probably an announcement or two along the way. Tell us a little bit about you and how we got here and how you got to Northwood, and where you are now in your studies and what you're doing.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm a senior here at Northwood University, and man, my ride has been unorthodox. It's been interesting in a lot of ways. I've taken a different path than I guess the traditional student does here at Northwood. I truly enjoy the fact that internships are so highly sought after, all the way from your freshman year, sophomore through junior years, and then onward to your senior. But I have chosen to leave every summer from the university instead of staying in my university's town and whatnot, or going home, or and on. I've chosen to leave and go and find a new experience in a different state. So I've been in Massachusetts for 2 summers while I've been a student here, and then I was in Montana this past summer, just experiencing something new, something different, but at the same time completely taking myself out of a comfortable environment and putting myself somewhere completely different, uncomfortable, and far away from people that I know. So that has kind of been the basis of my upbringing here the past 4 years. I've slowly, jumped off the diving board into the deep end further and further. And I finally made my way to my senior year, and there's a lot of momentum, a lot of, I'm at a, life's a roller coaster and it's full of ups and downs. I'm at an up right now. I'm feeling great. And, I have a wonderful support team that's backing me right now. And to give you some, further context, I am a marketing comms major as well. I have a focus in the marketing world. I understand, the positives of understanding, the psyche of a customer and, just a normal person as well, and understanding customer personas and market segmentation. That's my bread and butter. So I love bringing that to whatever industry likes to spike conversation with those facets.
So do you know this fellow, Alexander Maison, in the chat tonight?
That name looks familiar, but I can't pin it. No, he's my good bud, and he's forever one of my most inspired leaders that I have in my story. So shouts out to you, Maison. Nice to see your name.
So COLIN, what did you do with the auto show this past go round?
So my role was public relations chair. Katrina's past role, actually, I took it with stride. We had a wonderful interview process, and they said that you're our man. Don't let us down, and I tried in every way to uphold that. And from when they sent us out to NADA this past
you went
January. Yes, correct. Oh, what a time too! My goodness. I could talk about that for a while, but from when they sent us out there and the conversations that we just started rolling, and some conversations that we started out there ended up proving really big and delivering big time come show just a couple of weeks ago. So it was really cool to see that snowball effect, and then on top of that, just starting those conversations, getting people that are interested in helping support the show and and beyond, investing in our careers as well, is really, it's really gratifying to be a part of that whole process, front to back. And that was kind of my role, was to initiate those conversations and then further cultivate them, and then try to get people to deliver on some of that investment that they're looking for.
All right. So you went to NADA this past January. You were
Yeah,
part of the auto show. You're graduating this coming May from North.
correct.
And
Mhm.
so was this your last year on the auto show then? Would that be, or no?
Correct. Yes.
Well,
My
and what was
last
your
year in
role?
the
I know
auto.
you were one of the chairs. I know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Colin, talk to us a little bit about how you feel Auto Show has set you up and set up your future through your progression through Auto Show and what you've done in the past, all the way up into the e-board, connections you built from it, and different skill sets you've learned and gained.
Man, there is so much to talk about, honestly. I'll say this, ever since and like I said, I've had an unorthodox journey through the auto world. So I started off as a freshman here at Northwood, and I had no affinity for the auto. My dad's a business guy. He works for Penske. He's a national account exec, but never told me about anything that he does. He just kind of was like, I go to meetings and that's about it. But he allowed me to kind of figure out my own path, which I appreciated on top of that. And so, as we, as a freshman, I was like, it's an auto school, but I don't want to do anything auto, and then, I think it was my junior year, was my first year that I jumped into the show, and I represented Team Ferrari, and
Okay.
I just loved meeting everybody that came up to talk to me. And further on, when I took the public relations role, and went to NADA, and spoke with the industry's best, that was a wonderful entrance into the relationships that the auto world provides, and the culture that lays behind it too. So I'll say that being welcomed into that auto family that is so prevalent and huge out there, was a huge step for me personally, because it gave me a lot of confidence. And I touched on that in the cool pop-up event that you guys had on campus, is that
Yeah.
that gave me a lot of a confidence, not just in my voice, but to engage in conversation and speak up for myself, and to show that, stand on the value that I believe that I give. And that's something that the auto show gave me specifically, is because having that role, people know that you have responsibilities and that you're going to act upon those, and that you can be trusted. You wouldn't have that role otherwise. And so that helped me get a leg up in conversations, and saying, hey, you know what, I'm not just somebody that's just floating around. Like, I have a mission, I have purpose, and I have intention. And that really helped me, as a person, but also in my career. And I couldn't speak higher of the experience that the auto show has given me.
Katrina, Colin really stands out. That's one thing we noticed.
He does. And honestly, that's why he was our PR chair. You need to be able to talk to people and be flamboyant, just like Colin is, be like exciting and alive and know how to speak to people. And I think, Colin, you're a perfect example of that. And you're just a wonderful example of, people that we're looking for on the e-board, and people that are going to come out of college and be successful and have a bright future ahead of them.
So, Colin, PR, is that, you think, one of your attributes, or one of your your strong suits, if you will?
Funny you ask. I had a really great conversation with one of my professors recently, and he's like, I was like, I think PR would be really interesting for me. And my professor, he's like, do you know what PR is like? And I was like, yeah, yeah. You gotta choose your words wisely and this and that. He's like, in PR, you don't say anything more than you gotta. He's like, it's kind of anti you, and I thought that was really interesting. And so we talked about it, and I said, but do you know how strong I would be if I knew how to, work in the PR industry with the kind of, personality that I bring to the table? If I was able to leverage that, thought it'd be, really interesting. And I'm certainly interested in public relations as a whole. The industry's really, there's such a nuance to it. I love it's a class to, it's a classy kind of vibe to be a PR executive. So that's something that definitely interests me. But I'll zoom out just a little bit, and then what is public relations? It's establishing relationships with the public, and if you can be personable, and I think that is my strong suit. So if I had to zoom out even more and say, yes, public relations is interesting, but overall, I want to jump into something that allows me to work on my ability to establish relationships and then cultivate them and then lead people to mutual benefits. So that's kind of where my thought process goes.
So, Katrina, when we met you, was that your role, PR chair, or was it something similar?
Yes, I was PR chair when the Fixed Ops Roundtable came to the auto show for its inaugural visit. And you guys will be there we will be there for the future as well. But yeah, I was PR of the show, and I got to work with the Fixed Ops Roundtable, Ted and Sarah Vantine, and that was wonderful. Having you on campus. Yep, there's Brooke Englehart and Carson and Sarah, and we had a wonderful time. And that's, of course, where I was introduced to everyone, and that's how I got here.
I was telling Colin in the green room how impressive not only yourself, but Carson and Brooke Englehart. And, what a lot of talent. Okay. We saw that immediately at Northwood, right? And how well poised you all are. And Colin, that really, the same thing this year. Okay. When you were up there and we did the panels, just a lot of, and Sarah, here she is. Okay. She saw it firsthand both years. Okay. And, and that's why she brought her daughter, Katrina. She wanted Taylor to see this at a young age. She's not quite ready for college yet. Okay. But you could see, that she wants to be, with Northwood at some time. Right.
Yeah, and having Taylor up at the auto show was amazing. And me and Taylor, my mom and Sarah got to do a panel, and that was really cool. Just talking about women and automotive. And I could see a great future under Taylor, and she could thrive at Northwood like many other young, passionate children and kids that are growing up in this generation.
So would PR chair that would be on the e-board? Yes. Okay.
Any chair position is on the e-board. There's around like 20 students on the executive board, and then under that is our captain positions, and then under that is the team members.
So the 61st annual International Auto Show is what we were at in early October, and I'm assuming there'll be a 62nd. And when do you start planning for that, Katrina?
Like yesterday. But yeah, as soon as the auto show's over, the 61st auto show's over, we start planning for the next, and on and on. The general chair's elected, they choose their e-board, they build up everything, they start out marketing, they start reaching out to dealers. Like, it's a year-long 12-month process. So it's super fun, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's something to keep us busy and something to be good about.
All right. I think Tony's got the phrase new and 62. Okay. I like that a whole lot. And so before Sarah and I and Tony left, Colin, the Northwood campus, I was already asking LG, I said, when is 62 going to happen? And he said, that's about a year out. I've learned it's going to be just a tad earlier. But I said, who's going to be on the e-board, and who's going to be, because Alexander Maison's been the general chair this year. Last year, Cole Briggs, another fantastic, young person with a great career ahead of them, as well as Alexander. I said, LG, when are we going to learn who's going to be the general chair? He said, not for a few weeks. So any news on that, Katrina?
Yes, there is news. We had general chair interviews right after auto show and leading up. And then yesterday evening, we had our captains awards, where we award different captains and teams for their participation in the show. And like, we have a best in show, like a lights award, stuff like that. So a couple teams win different awards and get prizes for that. And there is where we announce the next general chair of the auto show. And I'm so excited and proud to say that I was appointed the role as the 62nd general chair of the auto show. So I'm so
round of applause.
Thank you guys. I don't want to steal your spotlight, Colin, but this is big news that just got announced.
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, seriously. Go right ahead.
Yeah, super exciting news. I'm excited to get things rolling again. I leave for Apex SEMA, which is the aftermarket convention, on Monday. So it'll be hard after I'm gone for a little bit to kind of hop in things and get them going. But it's time, because, it's one after the other. It's wonderful. thank you everyone in the comments as well. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in the fall of next year if you weren't able to make it this year. And if you were, I'm sure you hopefully loved it and will come back. We would love to have you.
All
Do
right.
you,
Now,
do you mind
Katrina,
if I say something really quick?
please. Yes.
All right. I hope you guys know, everybody that's watching, this woman deserved this role so much. She is a
Thank you.
dedicated, incredible individual. You should have seen her during the auto show weekend or the week. It's 7 days where we're unloading cars and and organizing, and she held the role of operations chair. She ran the entire operation of the show front to back. I mean, when you talk about delegation and leadership, this woman's, she's the real deal. So I just wanted to say that from a student's perspective, from a peer's perspective, I couldn't be happier with the choice. And you're going to doing some incredible things for the 60-second show. I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you for your kind words. And I always say I'm always in the place where I currently am because others, like other leaders and other mentors that I've had in the past, put me in these positions and saw my potential. Ted, for example, of course, you saw potential in Vanessa and I and put us in these roles. So I wouldn't be here without the people that saw the light in me and saw that I could do it. So I appreciate it.
Alexander, I agree with your comments. It's going to be amazing with Katrina at the helm of number 62, new and 62. Jen Ness has got to be, and your family's got to be extremely proud as well, Katrina.
Yeah, my mom's thrilled. She's over the moon, and she's always seen it in me from the second I stepped on campus. So she's, seen it in me and believed that I could do it. She's never really pushed me at all to do anything, but I think she's over the moon and so proud of me. And she knew I would do it, and she knew I could accomplish it. So
You could be very busy now.
yes, I will. I will be busy. And I have a lot going on with school and like the automotive industry, but I love handling it. And I've been busy for the past year. So keep it rolling, right? Got to keep going and keep trucking along.
Well, congratulations to you, Katrina. That's big news. And Colin, I mean, general chair, I mean, that's, and again, how many women have held? I know you may not know exactly how many have held that spot again.
I think it's around 5 or 6. I'm not sure. It's a handful. So out of like around 50, 55 men that have held the position, there's only been a handful of women. So I'm proud to be one leading the way and, making it a new show,
Yeah, love that. Larry Sherman, we are proud of her, right? So I know she definitely is going to crush it. All right.
Thank you, Larry.
Right, she is.
About that. And I think one of the things that you've been working on is you're changing the date. It's going to be a little bit earlier, right, this year?
Yeah, so LG worked on doing new dates. So I think it'll be a little bit earlier this year. I'm not 100% sure, but it'll be in September, I believe. But I think everything's still up in the air. So we'll get that finalized, and then we'll make sure that you guys all have the dates so you can start planning to head up that weekend because hotels do book up really fast. So
I know it's and as the world saw, Colin, that's a big event. That's a big affair, and it attracted a lot of people who maybe have not been to Northwood before and saw it for the first time. And Colin, they were very impressed with everything Northwood, especially the people, the students, yourself and Katrina. Big thing.
So
That's
Colin,
amazing.
what brought you to Northwood?
It's a good question. And, they sent a representative down to my high school when I was a sophomore and came into my marketing class. And, the bell rung at the end of class and everybody got up and left the room. And I was the only person still sitting there. And, I was like, tell me more. And I love the way that he spoke about the school. It was, I might come off as passionate or, energetic, but this guy, he had that in him too. And you could tell he loved what he talked about. And it wasn't like, a sales pitch to a class. It was more like, hey, I'm trying to drop some knowledge on you guys and inform you about something really cool that's going on in Midland, Michigan. And, I came up here and did an open house tour. And, I was a kid that didn't really have, a clear idea of what I wanted to do. My dad always said, he's like, you can do anything with business. And I was like, hey, why not? So at least let me go and see what I can do in that realm. And so I came up for an open house and, I walked around here and I did the tour with, they had some tour guides. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really feel it. I was like, you know, I don't know if this is the place for me, and it might be cold feet as a young kid, like, is this the decision? I don't know. And and it wasn't until almost the end of my time here at the open house, I had an alumni that or alumnus that was on the panel came up to me, talked to me and my dad. He's like, "Hey, do you guys want me to come show you around?" I was like, "Yeah, that'd be great." So he took us on a personal tour of the campus, and it was back when they redid the locker room in the for the football team, and so it looks really nice in there. And he took us in, and I was just like gawking and looking at everything. And it was incredible. But at the same time, he led me through like his experiences and his stories, and it helped me visualize, me being in his shoes and meeting these friends and having, quality relationships. And so, after that experience, it was so impactful. He gave me his phone number, said reach out to him anytime. And I just felt appreciated and, welcomed into a place, and I didn't feel like I was just some random kid that was gonna go have his I guess not obsolete education, but just like unnoticed education, and then just move on to do whatever he did. But I feel like coming here, I got a story, right? And people want to know my story and want to help and invest in it. And shout out to LG because he always says he wants to be, me and him had a great conversation the other day, and this is why I love Northwood, because my professors take such an interest in us. And I had a great just shooting the crock with LG, and we were just talking back and forth. He's like, he's like, Colin, he's like, when you're on stage doing like a graduation inauguration or something like speech or something like that someday, he's like, when you talk about like the people that got you to this place, I hope that maybe my smiling face is in the back of your mind. You don't got to mention me, but I hope I'm there. And I think that's incredible. I'm so happy that I have people batting for me the way that LG does, and many of my professors here. And
Mike Stoll too. Mike Stoll is
oh my gosh, that man! Yeah, I've got words for that guy. He is incredible. I love how supportive he is, and he like puts everybody on a pedestal, and he's an incredible man.
Yep, yep. So I know Mike's going to watch this segment tonight. So, well, Colin, congratulations to you on everything that's going on there.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So, Colin, you talked a little bit about having like a mentor when you were doing the tour, an alumni that was guiding your way. So, tying this to like the auto industry and just any industry in general, the business world, what do you think the importance is of having someone to look up to and to mentor you and to train you, not only train you in like skill set of the role you'll be providing, but train you in a cultural way as well?
Yeah. That can be broken up in a couple different ways. I think that a mentor is so important. Having somebody that'll, you can always go to and ask for information and seek advice and seek guidance. It's incredibly important. But I also think there's two other facets of incredible mentorship, and it's sponsorship / advocacy, and then also peer mentorship, and not just somebody that's at an advanced position helping you out. I think that some of the best learning that you can do is, on your hands, right? You're in the gutter, you're getting stuff done, and then having people right alongside you, running into mistakes, running into problems, and then you learn from their mistakes and problems, and vice versa. And I think that's where you get your best learning and growth and opportunities. I think the next stage is that mentorship, when you have somebody that takes appreciation and the abilities that you have, and then wants to further guide you on your journey. I think that's incredibly, I don't think you can go an entire career without somebody like that. It's incredibly important. And then to follow on top of that, I think sponsorship and advocacy is incredibly important as well, because you need people that are going to bat for you, people that are going to, give you opportunities because they believe in you, willing to put their name on the line so that you can not only impress the people that they're putting you on to, but prove the person that believed in you right, that you are worth a shot. So I think while I've said mentorship is important, it can be broken up in a bunch of different ways. And I think that if you can if you can maximize each of those three ways, if you can give time and an effort and try to cultivate relationships in those three levels, I don't think you can go wrong. And it's helped me a lot so far. And that would be my advice to anybody that's looking for mentorship
That's
advice.
great advice. You need someone to stand up for you when you're not in the room, right, Colin?
Darn right. Oh, I love that quote. Yeah. Somebody told me, they said, you need people that'll speak up about you when you're not in the room. I think that's amazing.
In rooms you're not in. Something along like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Thank
So,
you.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Mhm.
In fact, a lady named Eliana Raggio with Women in Automotive was our keynote speaker maybe 2 years back, and she did a whole keynote on mentorship and advocacy and the difference between them, and the importance of having these role models, if you will, in your life, and how important that is to everybody in the business. So you're
Right.
so right with that, Colin. So.
Totally.
All right. What happens after you graduate? What are you looking to do?
Oh man, that's such a loaded question.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and props to anybody that's sitting there in their senior year, in the fall and going like, I know what I'm gonna do. But I'll tell you this, I first and foremost, I am an opportunist. So that means when people see, something in me and they say, hey, you know what, I might have something for you. It comes across my table, I have to look at it, I have to analyze it, I have to think about it. And I look at it from all lenses. I will tell you this, that I used to not have an affinity for the auto world. I am now its biggest proponent. I believe that, it's not only going to take me places, but it's also going to take myself and the people around me places. And I see the love for the constant innovation and the constant movement. I mean, shoot, you're selling cars, and you're getting places in those, and same thing with the industry itself. So I love the excitement that's built behind it. I think I'd be a darn fool if I didn't try and see what was out for me in the auto world.
Automotive,
And
yeah.
yeah, so
Katrina and I
think
saw a lot of that last week. It was broadcast today on the Reynolds pop-up. A lot of innovation that's happening, and then she was also in a podcast that was broadcast today. So
no
a lot going on today on Wednesday. And you're right. This is the automotive. I think is the place where things are going to continue to happen, Colin. So
exactly, yeah, and then beyond that, and that's, like I said, the industry that I hope to find myself in for quite some time. I will say, like, a lot of people laugh at me about this, but like everybody's got their dreams, right? And I hope that one day, going up through the auto and industry and relationships or whatever, I hope I do like a nice little 4-year stint with the Pistons as their general manager or something like that, because I'd love to leave my mark in history in that way. And that would be sweet. But I'm hoping to, my aspirations, I'm going to be a C-suite executive somewhere. You can count on that. You can count on that. It just
Colin, a lot of
depends on.
sports team owners are in the car business too. So
I hear Dick DeVos is a great name to speak on in that regard. Yeah, he, name gets thrown around a lot, and I think it's wise to, and not putting all your eggs in one basket, investing in a lot of different areas, becoming well fluent in a lot of different areas. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of like math in terms of like learning in the classroom. I always had like a little bit of a struggle for learning new concepts, and so I realized it's not that the learning something, and I had to bring it back into like a good perception. It's more so understanding a language, right? And so being able to understand that language and to talk to people in a like a mathematical sense has been super important for me too. So I want to be able to have the same languages across industries of people that, they're speaking on things that I don't quite understand, but I need to know a lot about a lot to be able to get myself to where I need to be, and the people around me, because, you can't be successful unless you have a strong support system. And anybody that says they got to where they did alone, they're lying. So yeah, that's I think I took that question out a little long, but
I think you did great, Colin. Yeah.
well, thank you.
And by the way, everybody, if you want to learn a whole lot more about the automotive retail business, join us. It's coming up real soon, Katrina. Just if you don't mind, give us the dates and the theme here on this.
Of course. So the next Fixed Ops Roundtable event will be our football theme. And this will be happening Monday through Thursday, November 18th through the 21st. Again, 9 a.m. to 4:30, like usual. You can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com. You can get them now, so you should pre-register for the event. And we're excited to see you there, where you can learn all about the automotive industry and all the ins and outs.
And Colin, we're going to have 165 speakers over 4 days. There's 41 panels. There's 4 keynote speakers, and there's a lot going on these days. It's the week before Thanksgiving. A lot to give thanks for, and a great theme for the event, and some great people going to be speaking there as well. And we want to congratulate Colin on all the great things happening at Northwood University, and congratulate Katrina Ness on all the fantastic news that just came out in the last day or so from Northwood about the 62nd annual International Auto Show. So
thank you. And thank you everyone in the chat for your kind words. It'll be a good year, and we'll miss Colin after graduation, but he's left a legacy and he's left some high standards to live up to as well.
Yep. And still chat coming in, and automotive is a rewarding industry, and phenomenal job, everybody. I agree. So, all right. So a lot ahead of us, everybody. We'll be back on Monday of next week with another After Dark show, and a lot happening, and we're getting closer to the big event. So on behalf of Colin and Katrina and Vanessa and Sarah, I'm Ted Ings, and we'll see you all back at the Fixed Ops Roundtable on Monday night, 8 o'clock.